It's the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia, with your host, Bob Snap.
Hi, folks. Welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia. Thank you for being here. Today I'm doing one that I think I've done before. I'm pretty sure I have on Christmas last year, maybe. But it's Christmas time, so we got to do a Christmas one for Andy, right? Well, here's 9 little details that you might have missed from the episode, The Christmas Story. Let's take a look. Will Wright played a different mean old businessman in the pilot. Every classic Christmas tale needs its Scrooge. The mean and miserable Mr. Potter stands in the way of good cheer in It's a Wonderful Life. Mayberry had the similarly wealthy and crotchety Ben Weaver, played with perfect bite by Will Wright. He was not his first time portraying such a character in Mayberry. Remember, this series kicked off as an episode of the Danny Thomas Show. Danny meets Andy Griffith. It's quite a different town. Annette Wright plays Mr. Johnson, a store owner who's charging poor Henrietta Perkins 50 cents a day for renting a suit that was buried with her husband. Oh, and Mrs. Perkins? Yeah, that was Frances Bobbier, who was not yet Aunt B. Ellie and the actress shared the same first name. American audiences knew Elanor Donu best for Father Knows Best, which had ended months earlier in 1960. She only stayed in Mayberry for one season as Andy's love interest, Ellie Walker. Up until this episode, everyone in town called her Ellie, but in the middle of Christmas Story, Aunt B called her Elanor. It might seem like an error, as if Frances Bobbier is using the actress's name instead of the character's name, but no. Elanor Walker is Ellie's real name. We see it printed on her diploma in the debut episode, Ellie Comes to Town. Elanor Donu did not receive credit for this episode. Ever wonder why Elanor Donu did not stick around for longer than one season? Well, not receiving credit for her work might have something to do with it. She sings a lovely rendition of Away in the Manger with Andy, and yet her name is not listed in the closing credits, nor stated by the announcer in the opening credits. The only reference to her in the credits is Miss Donu's Fashions, Mr. Bert Avancino. Even Margaret Carey got a credit. Speaking of, Tinker Bell is behind bars. Old Man Weaver demands that moonshiner Sam Huggins and his family be put in the slammer for the holidays. Margaret Carey plays the wife, Bess Muggins. You might not recognize her face, but you know her work. She performed as a live-action model for Tinker Bell in 1953 Disney production of Peter Pan. Carey acted out the scenes with giant scissors and keyholes to give animators a reference. And the little girl that shows up years later as Opie's classmate. Let's stay in the slammer for a second. Incarcerated Muggins clan also includes a little girl named Effie. She played by Joy Ellison. This would not be the only time we see Ellison on the show. 7 years later, in the season 8 premiere, Opie's First Love, she appears as Iris, a friend of Mary Alice Carter. Andy misreads the Christmas card from the Ubacher brothers. Early in the episode, Andy and Barney sit in the police station and open Christmas cards. The Ubachers, a trio of brothers locked up in state prison, send one to the cops. Andy reads it out loud, Merry Christmas from state prison. He says there's just one problem. The insert shot of the card says, Greetings from state prison. The calendar and the station are all a year old. Episode first aired in December of 60. Christmas was on Sunday that year. However, you can see that these calendars on the wall behind Barney show the 25th is falling on a Friday. It must have been calendars from 1959 when Christmas landed on a Friday. A crew member left his initials in the jail cell. As the camera panned up the jail cell, past a pinup model to Ben Weaver singing in the window, you can spot the initials RS carved into the wall. That would be Reggie Smith, the prop master on the Andy Griffith Show, who left his mark. That is not a real writer. The real writer won an Oscar. The episode credits David Adler as the screenwriter. This was a pseudonym. The writer's true name was Frank Tarloff. Tarloff had been blacklisted by the House Un-American Activities Committee in '53 during the era of McCarthyism. Tarloff wrote 9 total episodes of The Andy Griffith Show. He also won an Oscar for film Father Goose a few years later. And there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Tell you, I'm going to go through the weekend with this one, and but I believe I'm taking Christmas off, so there probably won't be a video up there. Maybe a short one, but if there is one up, it will be short. So, and it'll be there for you to check out whenever you. As far as the rest of the video channels, they'll all be off on Christmas, so be expecting that. That's all I have for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget about classic rock and country music facts and trivia, where the question is asked, why wasn't Elvis on the front cover of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? Paul McCartney answers that question over there. And classic TV facts and trivia, which just completely went right out of my head, is on MASH, is on Alan Alda and how he handled the balance of work life and family life. And this is really interesting because he had one heck of a commute to get to California. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a great day, guys. God bless. Be praying for you.